We, do resume critique for the clients. We do mock interviews for the clients. We teach them how to optimize their LinkedIn profiles.
We're all immigrants. We know, how it goes when you're new here.
And show them how to apply for work, how to tailor their resume based on the job posting, and we keep working with them until they get employed.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Spotlight by New Canadians. This is a virtual show that shines the spotlight on newcomer focused programs and services to help you succeed in Canada. In today's session, we will discuss Ontario Bridge Training Programs by the Career Foundation, and these are for individuals with international experience in IT, HVAC, and network cabling. My name is Shruti Dargan. I will be moderating this chat, and I'm so pleased to welcome three guests who will be joining us today from the Career Foundation. We have with us Usma Jafrani, Zaitoon Omer, and Kamar Shalabi. Welcome to all three of you. Now let's dive straight into the programs. And Kamar, I'll ask you to stay with me on this question. If you could share a little bit about with our viewers about what bridging programs exactly are and how they're designed to help newcomers to Canada in their career, in connecting with their careers here in Canada and, in their job search. Just a little introduction as to what bridging programs are.
Okay, so the programs are about they are served for international trade immigrants, those who came with experience back home in IT or network cabling or HVAC. So they came with a previous experience where it can be bridged into Canada. The program is about extensive training for almost 3 months. The clients will be able to come out the challenges they have before they enter to the job market, and such like I will mention some of these challenges, which is we call it a Canadian experience, right? So the client, so we advocate about those clients, and because they spend a long time with us, we educate the employers about them, and we provide them with the knowledge required to work here in Canada, right? Another thing is we enliven their career also in Canada. They know how to transfer their previous skills they came with and employ it right in the field here in Canada as well. And of course, we provide them with a lot of support and a lot of social networking and even professional networking. So because we are a cohort base, the client receive a lot of social support from their peers and from us, of course, and from the alumni they've been with us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Now, while I understand, that the eligibility requirement or certain details for all three programs could be different, Zaitoon, would you be able to share just a little bit about the eligibility, what the duration in general looks like for bridging programs? Is it a few months? Is it a longer program?
So the bridging programs technically, are designed for internationally trained immigrants, meaning that our clients or whoever joins the bridging program should have relevant work experience or education from their home countries. That is why they're termed as ITIs, because they're internationally trained in their respective fields. So the most important criteria is having relevant experience or education in their home countries. A. B, they should be legally allowed to work in Canada, meaning either a PR or Canadian citizen or a refugee claimant with open work permit. Actually, when we say internationally trained immigrants, someone who came to Canada 20 years ago can still qualify for the program, because we have people coming into our program who were never able to or did not have the means to pursue their field of choice or what they wanted to do. And, now that we're providing that bridge, they're able to do it. So these, and then the English language requirement is there. We require at least a CLB level 5 and 7, depending on the program that they're joining, and a commitment. So they have to be committed to the program for 11 and 12 weeks for IT and HVAC and NC respectively, meaning that if they're working full time, then they will have to quit that work or, do some other arrangement, because this is full time for 12 weeks that they need to commit to.
That's great to know.
these are the basic requirements.
Wonderful. Now, I'm sure the viewers would be interested in learning more about each of these programs. So, starting with Uzma, could you share a little bit more in terms of, what the module looks like, what kind of training is provided, is there a certification towards the end, and what would be probably some learning outcomes that one can expect when they're a participant of each of these programs?
Absolutely. So this program, and I will start off, but there is a slight difference between the network cabling, HVAC, and the IT program. So I'm going to start on, and then Kamar and Zaitun can add on. So the program is divided into three components. The first one is workplace communication, second is job skills training, and the third is technical training. The workplace communication basically primarily talks about cultural dynamics in the Canadian workforce, communication skills, and how to present or deliver compelling presentations. It talks about a little bit about how to answer difficult questions and the art of storytelling. It also talks about networking etiquette in Canada. So that is workplace communication for us. Then is job skills training. Job skills training basically is job coaching, in which we do resume critique for the clients. We do mock interviews for the clients. We teach them how to optimize their LinkedIn profiles, and obviously networking. I don't think we can stop emphasizing on the networking part. The third component is the technical training. For the IT program, we provide two certifications. One is cloud security knowledge, and the second one is cloud system architect. It is, for us, it's a 3-week training, which is remote, based on both synchronous and asynchronous sessions. And yeah, it's delivered over a 3-week period. At the end of the certification, the exam has to be given by the client. So we talk about, or the technical training provider talks about 14 different domains. And at the end, we provide tokens to our clients, and they have to sit for the exams at their own time and convenience and whenever they're ready. And then Kamar and Zaitun can add on about their technical
For sure.
training.
Probably highlight things that might be different, because I understand there might be
Yeah.
similarities in the programs as well. And also, you're welcome to share if there is a success story that you would want to highlight, any achievement of your past participants as well.
So I'll go next. For the differences between the IT and HVAC and networking is like you are working with the IT sector and trade, because HVAC and NC is more related to a trade. So the workplace communication workshop is more tailored to like a trade environment, right? So we teach the client how to use the jargon of the trade, how the expectation of the employer, and also we scan the work environment, and like the Canadian work environment, right? And then with NC, we have this we have the same three modules. Workplace communication, but we have first the technical training. So the technical training, they need to go to Herzing College and be a person there for 7 weeks, where they will be receiving an extensive training in the foundation of the NC. When they finish the technical training, go back to work with us, and we provide them like a job search technique, resume writing, mock interviews, and network how to network with people, and we apply with them one by one. Like we do a lot of one-on-one session, and show them how to apply for work, how to tailor their resume based on the job posting, and we keep working with them until they get employed.
That's wonderful to hear. Zaitun, what would you like to add? And also,
Yes.
if
So Shruti,
yes,
adding to what Usman Kamar said, the whole point of the program is to have job ready clients. So meaning that they should have the relevant Canadian experience, have the Canadian, workplace know how to search for jobs, know how to connect to people. So it's like a whole 360-degree service that we provide to our clients. For HVAC, we have the workplace communication, like Amar mentioned. It's tailored to the trades. We have the job search workshops with them, this is all done remote. Like they log into a synchronized session every single day. And then we also have technical training at our training provider, where they have to go in person every day. At the end of the training, with HVAC, they have to give a TSSA exam, which gives them the gas technician license. And there is also co-op built into the training. So the clients actually go into a co-op 1 week they do technical training as the training provider. So like I said, the way all three programs are structured is that by the end of the 12 weeks for us and for 11 weeks for the IT program, we have a client who's ready, set, go. I mean, they're ready to go, they're motivated, they have all the tools in their hands to look for work in their field, which is supported by us. All of us have job developers on our team who help them find the work. So we find work for them as a team, but individually, each one of them is geared and ready to find jobs in their field.
That sounds great. Now, all three of you have so far shared a little bit about the technical training that is involved in these programs, the job search support as well. I would also want to know, and Zetun, starting with you, a little bit about, what is the employer connections, or in terms of networking that was mentioned earlier by Uzma, what kind of connections can one build as a participant, not just among their colleagues or other participants that they are taking this course with, but outside with professionals. If you could share a little bit about that as well.
So during the workshops, we try to create a network for these clients. We're all immigrants. We know, how it goes when you're new here, when you don't know anyone, or you know people, but I mean, you don't know people who can be of help to you in your field or your job or your life. So we try to make, the way the workshops are structured is that we try to make connections at different levels. So we have different employers coming into our workshops and introducing, what jobs they have, what they can do. So the clients can make the employer connections there. Then we have different alumni coming in to speak about their experience. So the clients have that network that they can start banking on, as far as alumni is concerned. Then we also have different community organizations coming in who we know can help these clients. For example, our clients have to forego their income for 12 weeks, right? So
Yes.
they might need financial support. So we have different organizations who offer like micro loans to new immigrants. We have them come in and make presentations about what they have to offer. So we have, for example, World Educational Services coming in talking about how to get their credentials assessed. We have a legal aid worker coming in talking about employee
Yes.
rights, so that these people know what is expected of them from the employer and not to be misused. So we've the way we're structured is that apart from the technical training and the workplace communication, the clients end up having a network which just spans across. Like, it's not just limited to people in their field. So it's basically anything that we, being immigrants ourselves,
Mhm.
knew that we needed and didn't know existed. So we've tried to cover all of that into the package that we give them.
It's great that there's also, this lived experience that you're able to share with your clients and participants that they can, I'm sure, benefit from. Uzma, anything that you would want to add beyond just the technical training part?
Yeah, so I think Zaitoon covered it really well. But I think one bit that I would like to add is even if there's an employer connection that we know and they're not hiring at the moment, we would still bring them as guest speaker for mentorship. So I know that for the IT program, we bring people from IBM Consulting, we bring people from Siemens, from different organizations. So it's at that point, even if they're not hiring, but those are people who've been in the industry for a long, long time, and they can add value by being mentors for our clients. And these guest speakers are very kind to actually then add them onto their LinkedIn profiles and connect with them individually and guide them. So yeah, I think we, other than technical training, is a very small aspect of it, but we do, like Zaitoon mentioned, Kamar mentioned, there are a lot of wraparound supports that we provide.
Now, moving on, let's talk a little bit about the demand of each of these professions as well. In Ontario, Kamar, can you highlight something about what kind of demand is there in the province when it comes to HVAC, network cabling, and IT?
Absolutely. So the moment we start designing this program, so we kind of screen and like study the requirement in the field, right? And we knew from a lot of employers that these three fields are really in a good demand. Like IT is booming, as you know, a lot of positions have been opening for since pandemic and still going on, especially cybersecurity now, as we all know it's a very important aspect of the position of the IT. And also network cabling now, it's a growing demand. There is always a high rising growing demand because of the expansion of the digital services and the new rollout for the 5G connection. So all the infrastructure for the IT, telecommunication, all these new buildings require that type of support. And of course, HVAC. Who would live without heat, like heating, ventilation, and cooling, right? So we are pretty sure this is like these type of programs were like expected or like going to be hired immediately. Now, from the aspect of the clients who
Yes.
are joining us, so I would say we have a decent long waiting list for the clients. We are now looking actually to start recruit for March because the cohort that we have now is almost like all field, I think. But since IT accept more clients than we do, so I think they have a slight room for only October cohort. The current cohort is all filled. So yeah, it's really going very well in terms of both the demand of the field job opportunities and the client um, like um, like applications as well.
Yes. And irrespective of, when a viewer is to find this session online, there will always be another cohort that is coming up either in the next few
Absolutely,
weeks or in the next
absolutely.
few months that
Yeah,
they can still benefit
yeah.
from. Usma?
Yeah, and they are always welcome to, sorry
Yes.
to interrupt you, but they are always welcome to contact us. Our contact information is on the website. So whenever they wanna ask or inquire anything about the program, we have like this policy. We get back to all our clients in less than 24-hour working hours.
Yeah. Now, we've learned that, of course, there is high demand for each of these professions, so there's a lot of scope for participants to get into the labor market. Some types of roles, it would be good to know for the viewers as well. Usma, would you be able to highlight, some job titles, positions that either previous participants have filled, or some positions that have come up in the last few years, probably?
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you a little bit about the positions, but it's not restricted to those positions only, right? So, like for example, for HVAC, some of the roles are HVAC technician, gas fitter, gas technician, HVAC journey person, and a business line manager. For network cabling, it's network engineer, project manager in the network infrastructure, fiber optic technician, data cabling installer, and network cabling technician. For IT, especially because we do the CCS and the CSA certification, there's cloud security specialist, cloud architect, cloud engineer, cloud data engineer, and cloud solution architect. But like I mentioned, these are some of the roles that our clients tend to go towards once they complete the certifications, but it's not limited to that. We get clients who come with a lot of prior experience, and sometimes we also tap into that experience to find them jobs now.
Certainly.
So yeah, those are some of the roles that
Perfect.
we
So I would like to add, Shruti, here that this is like a jumping ground that we give the
Hmm.
clients to sort of, use or utilize the skill set that they already have in these fields and take it from there. So this is like, a ladder that they start climbing with us. It's just that the ladder is in the field that they're already familiar with and they want to make careers out of, or they can make careers out of.
Hmm.
So it's just like a jumping board that we give them with the Canadian experience and the certification that they need to start their journey in
Yeah.
Canada.
Now, Usma mentioned that
And
there might be clients who've had previous, like several years of work experience, but once they're in Canada, you might also come across some who have fewer years of experience or are looking out for their first job in Canada. Zaitoon, could you highlight a little bit about also the workplace kind of component that you have in these programs that prepares your candidates or participants to learn more about Canadian workplaces and that would help them integrate better once they find a job?
So the way we've designed, the workplace communication workshops is that, all employers look for the Canadian experience that, people have, though it's not formally, announced, but yes. And then the clients who we have, all the clients come from different backgrounds and different expectations from the backgrounds that they come from. In Canada, the workplaces are different. So what we do in the workplace communication is that, like I said, the clients are job ready. So tomorrow when they go to work, they don't find the work environment
Mhm.
unfamiliar. They're familiar with the jargon, they're familiar with how to behave, what is expected of them,
Probably cultural nuances as well. It's a
yeah,
multicultural
what to
place.
expect,
Yeah.
the language that is used, how to be addressed, how to address, simple things like, like I laugh and always say that when you come to Canada, you don't even know how to use the washing machine. It's a true fact of life, right? So what we do is we teach them everything from the basics, right? So this is, you walk into a job environment, like my clients interact directly with the they're like front faces basically. So they need to know how, simple things like how to address, what to wear, what to look like, how to present yourself, how to behave. So everything is part of the workplace communication workshops that we have, especially the jargon related to each field,
Yes.
the commonalities or the common words that are used, so that they're not completely, unfamiliar with the work
And
environment.
that just
That's
always
what.
helps with like smoother integration. I'm sure that these things can also be learned on the job, but the more prepared one is before they dive into a job, it just
Yes.
helps them. It just
Yeah.
makes the process easier for them, and it's a happier time, I think, at the job as well. Now,
Yeah, Shruti, I'll
yeah.
just add on a little bit there. I think Zaitun covered it beautifully, but I think the art of selling yourself
Hmm.
is, which is very important at any job that you do, right? Like you have to advocate for yourself. And I think with the training provider we have for workplace communication, I think one of the things that he does is he asks them to sell whatever he was talking about and the different concepts he spoke about. He asks them to present the same thing back to him,
Mm.
and I think that's a really good, because I think as all of us, we struggle with, presenting, or we struggle with public speaking. So those are all some of the things that are covered during workplace communication.
That sounds great.
And we as humans are networking shy, right? I remember coming into Canada and going to these job fairs, and I was like, how do I approach these people, so we what we want to do is we want to take away that, the initial
Hesitation. Yeah.
inhibition that our clients have, so that when they, after our training, when they go to a job fair, they're confident enough to walk up to someone and say, hey, listen, I'm looking for a job, this is my resume. So that's where we want our clients to be when they complete the training with
And
us.
that technically is the goal of bridging programs. It is just to bridge that gap that is there because they do have the technical experience. They just need to understand the Canadian concepts or how it works here and then be ready to kind of dive into their jobs here. Of course, now all of you have mentioned a little bit about the language support, networking heavily. Kamar, would you want to highlight more about other support that is available during the program, and also is there any follow up that is available once for alumni or for once graduates of the program, basically?
So our client received, as previously my colleague mentioned, a lot of support during the program. So, for example, we mentioned about the micro lending, the financial support. Sometimes they are struggling also to get the some like a clothes to go to work. So that time also we connect them with the right community partner. We reach out to a lot of employers as well to present and to show them what are the requirements for this job. That's why they are on the training, right? The moment they got employed, our job is not done yet. So we keep working with them on like up to 2 years, following up in case they require more support, or if they are looking for a different type of job, or like for example, a lot of my clients were able to open their own businesses. They needed a lot of actually support in this regard. So we connect them with a small business in Toronto. We connected them with also like a micro lending loan, and also we connect them with the previous as we said, like alumni who've been there, who started this journey before them. And we are required to continue following up with them up to 2 years as per our contract. So again, it's not going to end our support and service by the moment they are like working.
I must thank all of you for sharing all of these details about the programs. But as you mentioned, you do have lived immigrant experience yourself. Um, at this point, I just want to ask you if you have any tips from your own journeys, or in your interactions with your participants, of what they can do besides, of course, the learning that they have in each of these programs. What can they do to make themselves more job ready and prepare better to succeed in Canada? One by one, whoever would like to go first.
I
Sure.
can go first. And I can't actually emphasize on this point enough with with my client. I always ask them for patience and commitment. So always be patient. I know you might be a manager back home and you are heading to work to start from at a very entry level. That's not gonna last for a long time. We've been there. We all started from the beginning. Actually, I usually say this is the scratch. We start from this. Like we are even like we deep down under the scratch. But our like level of advancement is very fast because we have the experience, we have the knowledge. It only takes patience, understand the work environment, and then commitment. Commitment is very important. Like you might think that cold calling is not that is effective, but try it. Believe me, you will find a lot of like benefit out of it. As I too mentioned as well, you go to a hiring event, don't have that type of like restriction, because like a lot of culture, and I came from that culture, right? So we don't like to approach stranger or talk to a people that we don't know, so no one is gonna bite you. Just go try, and they are very nice, so they will at least respect your initiative. They will inform you very friendly and very nicely if they have work or not. Don't be afraid of that.
Certainly. Zaitun, what would you like to add here?
Yes, so like Kamar said, patience, resilience, we know it's a tough journey. Migration is never easy. People come from different backgrounds, different places. They're mentally in different places in their lives. So, yes, stick it out. That's what I tell everyone. Stick it out. We all understand that it's tough, but it's going to get better, and it does get better. So once you start climbing the ladder, every single rung is a better step that you're going towards. Yeah, so patience, resilience, and hang in there.
Great words of advice from both of you. Isma, coming to you.
Yeah, I think Zaitoon and Kamar covered again great pieces of advice that they gave. But I think for me, also, obviously, patience and resilience, along with that, is networking. I think it's very, very important to network. And sitting at home and applying for jobs will only get you not very far away. So I always tell our clients that one, reach out to people, but don't just reach out to ask for a job. Reach out for a coffee chat. Ask them, can you meet me for 10 minutes? Can you talk to me for a few minutes? And use them as mentors and guides in this process. So networking doesn't necessarily mean that you just go and look for a job. Networking means that the resources and the support structure that you create along with you is very important. So yeah, I think I am a big fan of networking, and I try to, like Kamara was saying, she can't emphasize enough. I don't think I can emphasize enough on networking.
Fabulous. Thank you, Osma, Zaitoon, and Kamar, for joining us today, for sharing this wonderful advice from your own experiences, those insights about the program details as well. With this, we've come to the end of this spotlight session. And also a big thank you to the viewers who have joined us. We hope you found the session useful. The links to each of these programs that we mentioned today in this session will be listed in the description of the session, so you can learn about upcoming cohorts and any information sessions as well. This spotlight session was brought to you by New Canadians TV Network. We have lots of more similar resources that we have on our website, YouTube channel, and that we can send straight to your inbox through our newsletter. So you're welcome to check us out at newcanadians.tv, and you will find lots more there. We'll see you in another session. And of course, we would love to hear your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and any questions you have as well. We would be quick to try and answer them as soon as possible.